Hello Leo, and welcome to your reading today. Leo, you're very welcome here, by the way, all of you, everybody. Welcome for joining me. I don't know what it is about your energy today, but it's feeling really light and excitable for some reason, Leo. So I'm really looking forward to this reading because it sort of will lift, my energy even more, as if it needs lifting today, seriously. But there we are. Spirit wanted me to use bright and colourful cards, as I say, because your energy is feeling very light, it's feeling very lifted. Let's get into it and see what Spirit want you to know. So we're with Leo, as you know, Spirit. What do you want to tell them? Why are we using bright colours today? Oops, I missed it, Spirit, sorry. It is that one, okay? We have lend a hand. Whoops, gosh, they're jumpy. We have say I'm sorry. Well, this is interesting, as I say, because your energy is very light, but they're very interesting cards. We have you are not afraid. Oops. Oh my goodness, that's flown straight across the room. Leo, what's going on? And we have it's not an emergency. How interesting. On the bottom of the deck, we have take a breather. I'm just going to pop that there and check. Yeah, it's just about in camera view, so we're okay. Let's get into this because I am fascinated, as I say. Yeah, crazy energy coming from these cards. It's sort of, woo. Anyway, Leo. Okay. You're being encouraged to lend a hand in some way, shape or form. There could be someone around you that is feeling sorrowful, someone around you who, just needs a bit of support, needs some help, they've just said needs a big hug. So, I don't know who that is to you, or I do feel it could be someone, a friend maybe. I feel you know this person already, so I feel that if this reading is for you, that you will have an inkling of someone who's just not themselves at the moment. They're needing a bit of support, and it could be emotional support, it could be practical support. Whatever it is, Leo, you're being asked to be there for that person. And Spirit are saying, they've just said, don't sell your soul. So they don't want you to sort of put your own life on hold in order to help this person. But it's just something that maybe you can, make a kind gesture, or, just something that will help make life a little bit easier for this person in the short term. I don't feel this is a long-term commitment. So, and Spirit are saying, it doesn't need to be. So please don't fall into any emotional traps here, Leo. But it just feels like someone needs a bit of a hand at the moment. And I do feel that you'll know who that is. It may not be obvious, having said that. So, they're saying if you've got a friend that is just a bit quieter than normal or a bit more reserved, just check if they're okay, I don't feel anything bad's going to happen to them, by the way. They just need a bit of a help with something, or a bit of a listening ear or something like that. So I do feel, I know this card says say I'm sorry, but I do feel that this signifies some sort of ending in your life, Leo, and I feel it's of your choosing. So for some of you, it could be around a relationship, it could be obviously a partner, it could be a workplace, it could be a friendship, It just feels like something has run its course. And you're in a position where you feel you want to make some sort of change, some step forward in your own life. And it feels that a situation has to end. Spirit are saying, again, approach it with kindness. It doesn't need to end on bad terms. So they're asking you to just explain where you're at, what it is that you are thinking, feeling, and how you want to move forward, and have that sense of ownership about it, Leo. And they're asking you to be courageous. Look at this. Stand up for yourself. you know. You may, if you have this conversation with this person, or you've handed in your resignation in a workplace, for example, there may be people there that try to persuade you to take a different course of action, like don't leave. You know, there may well be that. And they may try to talk you out of the decisions you're making. Spirit are saying, stand up for yourself. You know, you've made this decision to move forward, and it may be something that's way out of your comfort zone, Leo. You may decide to sort of just take a chance on something, or not that I'm suggesting you should, but you know, if you've made that decision to try something new, or to go somewhere new, to make a fresh start with something maybe, or just a decision you've made that is sort of a little bit outside your comfort zone, don't be afraid, be courageous. You know, you've got Spirit's backing here. But they're also saying to you, look, this isn't an emergency. So, you know, take your time, decide what it is you want. Interesting, because I've just done Cancer's reading, and obviously they're the sign just before you, and they had a very similar message coming through their energy. So, you know, there's something here about, you know, not rushing into things, Leo. You know, everything isn't a crisis. You know, you haven't got to sort of rush into it and, you know, deal with something straight away. Just take your time with it, you know, to get the best outcome. Yeah, and in fact, look, they've put this on the bottom of the deck, take a breather. So yeah, they're very much asking you to take your time with decisions that you're making. But having made this decision, which feels like something that's going to be really good for you, but you have got to stand your ground to do what it is that you want, to get the outcome that you want in a situation. And I don't mean about, you know, pushing forward in like a bullish way and ignoring the needs of other people around you. As I said, there's a thing about kindness here, handling it kindly. But, you know, standing up for what it is you want in terms of your life moving forward, Leo. Wow, that's an interesting message. Sorry, I'm drinking water because I'm burning sage again. It's affecting my throat. Oh, they've said not these tarot. They don't want that deck, they want this deck. Interesting. Let's see what comes through. What I would say, while I just shuffle them, because I hadn't pre-shuffled this deck, Leo, if any of you would like a personal reading, private reading, whatever you want to call them, I have them on my Buy Me a Coffee page. So there's all sorts of price ranges. So there may be something on there that, you know, that appeals to you. The information is in the description box below. And if you're on a bigger screen, there's a QR code in the corner of your screen. Just click on it and go through to Buy Me a Coffee, and the shop tab will take you to my readings. So that's that out of the way. Let's get started. They're presenting me a card already. I just want to check that it's for you. Spirit, I'll be ready for Leo, please. They've said reshuffle. I thought they would. I don't know what that's about. Thank you. Here we go. Wow. Fresh start. The Fool. Interesting that, you know, they've brought us this with the lender hand card. So they're asking you to help that person out we talked about before. And I do feel it's only one person, but there's a gesture of kindness that I feel will lead to a new start, a new opportunity, and a leap of faith. And it may take you a little bit out of your comfort zone, helping that person, because it may put you in a position you've not been in before, Leo. But I feel it's going to open some sort of door for you. You know, they're saying to you, if you take that leap of faith and you show that kindness, then the path forward will be a lot more straightforward for you. You know, and again, they're saying it's not about you being taken advantage of. Don't allow that to happen. But, you know, a gesture of kindness is important here. But, you know, the Fool energy brings in a new beginning, a whole fresh start. And it may set a relationship off on a different footing, for example. That could be the new start, you know. It could be that that person ends up being someone quite significant in your life in some way. So, you know, there is an importance to that gesture. We have the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, they're saying what you actually put into a situation determines what you get out. And I don't mean you should help people so that you get something in return. That isn't the message here at all, because there is a big emphasis on kindness. There even was with this card, with this ending. But I do feel that it's important for you to keep working at something that you want to grow and progress. And I do think you're going to start seeing some rewards to a situation. I feel like you've put the effort in the past, but it's almost like a reset here, which allows you to grow it even further. So whatever that is for you, as I say, this is a general reading, it will be different for all of you, but whatever that is for you, whether it's a project you're working on or a new relationship that you've put work into, there's definitely going to be signs of growth there. We have the King of Swords. King of Swords coming up a lot in readings at the moment. You know, they're saying be quite strong in your opinions, in your ideas and how you want things to be moving forward. This is you being headstrong. This is what we talked about when it said you are not afraid, sorry. You know, you standing up for yourself, for what is right, for the way you feel things should be, connected to your own life, because obviously you can't determine what other people do in their lives, but this is for you and what is right for you, Leo. Nine of Wands, yeah. So there's going to be some sort of, so I'm delaying here because they're giving me other messages, which is really confusing. Bear with me a second, please. Interesting. They're saying, have you done Leo before? And this is what was confusing me. I haven't, I've just done Cancer, but maybe there's some relevance in the Cancer reading. I did mention this earlier, that there was a similar theme coming through. So, yeah, interesting. I don't know what that's all about, so let's park that for a moment. But there will be some form of victory here. I think you will win through. There may be some challenges that have come along the way, but I think, you know, you have the determination to stand your ground here, and the ideas that, you know, the forethought to be able to get through this situation. I don't think it's going to be a major upheaval. I just think you're going to have to stand your ground regarding a situation. Why are you telling Leo that it's not an emergency? Ace of Cups. This is something, there's something lovely beginning for you. A whole new, it feels like a new energy, a new feeling. They want you to relax with it, and that's why they were saying about it not being an emergency and about you slowing down. It's almost like this is very much, the Ace of Cups is lovely because it is something beautiful coming into your life. And they're saying, you know, make sure you're there for it. You know, if you're rushing around and treating everything like it's got to be speedy, you might miss this beautiful opportunity coming in. I don't think you are going to miss it, because I think it's going to be right on your path. But they said, you know, they keep showing me roses, which is odd because that's not a rose, but they keep showing me roses and saying, take the time to smell the roses. So, you know, I think maybe if you've had to be very strong, Leo, to stand up for yourself in a situation and to say, yes, look, you may not like it, but I am moving forward. They're saying take the time to enjoy the journey along the way. You're telling them to take a breather. Yes. Yes. King of Cups energy. This is for your protection. There's nothing you need protecting from, but this is about you protecting your energy levels, about you protecting your emotions, about you, you know, really sitting firm. Look at this king, and this is probably why they wanted me to use this deck for you, Leo, because in this particular King of Cups card, the water around him is really quite volatile. So this might signify the opposition you're having from the decision you're making. And yet the king is sitting firm. He's relaxed. He's in control. He's protecting his energy. And I don't feel there's going to be a battle of any sort, but I feel like people are going to object to you making a decision to move on. And there are turbulent waters around, and he's sitting, he's quite relaxed. He knows it's the right decision for him. And he's taking that breather to just allow that all to process and allow everybody else to calm down, you know? Wow. Yeah. Whatever you're moving into or the decision you're making, it's almost like a match made in heaven for you, Leo. We see the Two of Cups here. So again, some form of partnership. This could be a new relationship for you. It could just be a project you're working on that, you know, feels right. You feel connected to it, and it felt like exactly the right decision for you. And that is why you stood your ground. Perfect. You've got an exciting time ahead of you, Leo, but you're, as I say, you're going to need to stand firm. Right, let's bring in the Moonology card. You know I love to end with Moonology. They've just said the other ones, so sorry. Gosh, they're being very particular about your decks today. And these are the other set of Moonology, and they've already given me a card. Release any blocks. Anything that stops you from moving forward with the ideas, King of Swords energy, the ideas you have, the inspiration that you have, anything that stops you moving forward, ask Spirit to remove the blocks from you. And literally, it's as straightforward as that, Leo. You know, if ever I'm stuck in a situation, I don't know quite what to do, I literally just say, Spirit, my angels, please, can you remove the blocks regarding this situation so that I can see clearly the way forward, you know? So, yeah, you have got changes ahead of you. Oh, wow. We couldn't make that up, could we? Wasn't I going on about relaxing just a moment ago? And we have relax. You know, there's nothing to get stressed about here. You've literally just got to take control, stand your ground, and we know you're capable of doing that, Leo. You're the lion, for goodness sake. So, yeah, but they want you to relax and enjoy this journey. That's the important thing. They're giving us two more. Yeah, because when you relax and you enjoy the journey, you have the opportunity to really do some soul searching, to, you know, find the best ways forward. It gives you that time to have the clarity for those ideas to flow and you to find the you know, that Two of Cups energy we were talking about a second ago. And they're asking you to keep your heart open. You've got the Ace of Cups coming in, this beautiful, loving energy coming in, something, a gift of some sort. And it's a loving gift. So it could be somebody spending a lot of time with you to help you with this new thing that you're working on. It could be just kindness being shown back to you. It could be from the person you helped in the first place. You know, they say what goes around comes around. On the bottom of the deck, we have release control, which is very interesting because Spirit are asking you to stand your ground here, which would suggest an element of controlling your own life. But they're saying the outcome could be a lot better than you anticipate. So don't try to control the outcome of a situation. Stand your ground, but then relax And let's see what this beautiful energy is that's coming in for you, Leo. That is a beautiful reading. It's an exciting time for you. Love it. I always love it because I'm always so fascinated by the different messages that come through for all the different signs. It's fascinating. Anyway, I'm going to draw it to a close there, Leo. If you would like a personal reading, don't forget the info's in the description box. And please do like and subscribe if you've enjoyed being here. Thanks so much, Leo, for being here. And I will speak to you all really soon. Bye for now.